Stand up and get ready, take your shirt off and shout rev deuces. Stream starts now. And now that I have your attention, it's time for us to get serious. Say hello and chat to your friends. Fires up the stream, hear the good vibes come. Let's distract you from that terrible day. Your wife doesn't suck, your husband is a nag. But here you matter, and there's very little lag. Rev deuces stream, yeah, we laugh as one. Telling dad jokes and flirting with every daughter and son. We're gonna burn our retirement homes on down and shake our asses like Nurse Rose Brown. Patch notes hit, he's already read it. Scopely's wild, he's not gonna edit. Game's a mess, he still stands tall with spreadsheet sass and a reverent call. Do you miss having someone to talk to when you're bored? To talk to when you ain't got nothing to do? Do you miss having someone to talk to when it's late at night? Well, have I got a stream for you? Rev deuces stream, yeah, we laugh as one. Telling dad jokes and flirting with every daughter and son. We're gonna burn our retirement homes on down and shake our asses like Nurse Rose Brown. Ain't nothing wrong with a little pawn far. Chat can't be trusted, it's a juvenile seminar. But that's okay because we all need a little fun.
Hold up. Responsibility. What is wrong with you? How dare you say I have to pull 7 minors? How dare you? I'm getting ready for stream and you're talking trash. Look, responsibility. How dare you? There's enough going on in the world with that. How dare?
Rev deuces stream, yeah, we laugh as one. Telling dad jokes and flirting with every daughter and son. We're gonna burn our retirement homes on down and shake our asses like no.
Kids these days, you can't do nothing without them coming for your neck. Don't come for me. Come for them. Well, that's territory capture. I do need to prep for that because territory capture is a thing. It's still a thing. But yeah, we're going to talk about some things. Have some fun. Have a laugh, hopefully. Hopefully you are able to smile a little bit today. I know it's going to be tough, right? Chronicles of the Ascendant, completely nerfed. Let's just call it as is. I don't like making negative content. I've said that. I believe making negative content long-term is not beneficial to me nor to the game. But at the same time, y'all be pretty pissed at me if I just like ignored everything that was going on right now. And sadly, this is a problem. Now, I do want to share with y'all some news, right? Like about COTA, some feedback, hopefully some changes, right? We'll see. But this is just one, it's compounding, right? It's as soon as we get through one issue, for example, we just had the big update that did fix a slew of bugs that got introduced this month, which, yay, I do like bugs getting fixed. I will say that. I won't sit here and pretend like it doesn't matter. The fact that they fixed some bugs in the mid-month patch was good. It was. Okay? We could say that. It's not blasphemy, but what's not good is this. It's not good at all. Did Rev bother? No, not really. No, as you can see, I just said no thanks. Not going to bother. I'm not going to bother trying to do something that has been nerfed. I'm not. Now, maybe you out there did it. If you are out there and you say, hey, Rev, I actually think it's fine. Look, we say this all the time. All feedback is welcome, including if you disagree with the premise of like what a lot of us are saying. Maybe you think things are actually fine. Speak up. Say, hey, look, I think this actually is okay. Right? Now, I don't agree, but I welcome differing opinions because you never want to create an echo chamber, right? Like, we don't want to live in a bubble of like just everybody's angry, because if everybody's angry and everybody in the bubble's angry, then we're just going to stay angry. It is good to get more things. That said, now again, you're just seeing my level 6-3. Obviously, I ignored for the most part. I mean, I did normal stuff that I was already doing, but I clearly did not focus on this as an upgrade. And we've done the math on this before. I mean, removing certain currencies that scored, adjusting the actual scoring has caused what I would assume is the majority of the past frustration of the 48 hours. You know, and that's just where we're at. And again, this isn't meant to just start a negative firestorm. It's just to be honest. And I do appreciate, as James pointed out, it's heroic. But at the same time, it's more the issue of we've had this before, we've done this before, and you're changing it. Right? That's the issue. It's not even that it's a heroic. Things can be heroic. It's when you change heroics to make them even more heroic. I'll give you an example. For example, I don't know how many G7 players we have here already. I was actually talking to Estio a few minutes ago. Great guy. He lurks in the background. So if you're watching right now, Estio, see, I say nice things about you. But for real, I was talking to him and he was talking about how he's not even a rage baiter. Like, he doesn't really get angry at STFC in the ways that a lot of other players do. But even he's at the point where he feels like he's being kind of like pushed out. He's like, it feels like they want me to run away with how bad they're doing things. And again, he's not one of the people who, like, every time an event is a problem, he jumps at it. But when we talk about the vengeance issues of the past few days, the past few weeks, right? Not just the vengeance issues of the past few days, past few weeks, not just pulling the SMS, because they just completely nerfed that too. Like, if you were working on the vengeance SMS, no, you're not. You're not doing that. No more parts, no more blueprints for you. Nay. You go buy the packs like a good whale and you behave yourself.
Buy more packs. You've been ordered. Buy more packs. Buy more packs.
So you've got that. Then you've got Crucible of War. Well, you do have Crucible of War where they want to keep forgetting Crucible of War, but you have Chronicle of the Ascendant getting completely nerfed in terms of it's now much more difficult to complete for rewards that people want, hence the frustration. And that's not even bringing up all the G7 problems and the outpost problems and I don't think everything's bad. I've said it. I think there's some real good stuff this month, mainly for our lower levels, but still, they are people too. Lower levels are people too, and they matter. But man, it's easy to see why there are so many jibber jabbers of frustration. You're good to see, by the way, Ark, I Choose Life, Alan, Mika, Dave, Michael White, Demon Chris, O'Reilly, Rick. Good to see everybody in here. I want to give shout outs to y'all. Appreciate y'all supporting the channel. Nemesis, it's so good to see you. I don't feel like you message me anymore. Do you not love me? Is it something I did? Did I offend? Is it the fact that I'm wearing plaid now? You're not a big fan of that, right? I think I look like a great plaid wearing man. Whatever the reason is, Miss Nemesis, I miss you. Mark, good to see you. Robert, Tomas, Ryan, Lenoge, Bester Boulet. Well, that's a fantastic name. Melron, good to see you. Joey, Ken Slayer, great to see you as well, my friend. Did you respond to my message this morning? I don't think you did. Lieutenant George, Funky Dragon, LCS Rex, EM, Prominator. You're not fine? Well, you're going to be fine now because I just shouted you out. What better thing in life is there than having a random person on YouTube with a camera say your name? Congratulations, you're famous. Anton, Brandon, EMJT, Bally Bomb, Dozer, Responsibility, everybody, appreciate y'all being here. I do hope y'all are having an amazing Wednesday, regardless of what the game's doing today. Hope you're having a good day. If there's anything I can do to make that better, let me know, because I do take that seriously. I mean, I really want to make y'all's day better. Austin, you're gross. I agree. You're absolutely disgusting, and you smell like elder bears. All right, anyway, back onto topic. Steven did say, love the State of the Game video. Looking forward to seeing more of those. So because of the positive response, we will be doing more State of the Game videos every month. However, that said, you also need to participate in State of the Game. How do you do that? Let us know what topics. Recommend guests. Would you like me to bring on Estio, Jazzbo, Sid, you know, some of the top 70s in the game? Would you like me to bring on, what other content creators would you like? Now, to be very clear with y'all, I'm not saying that Scopely cannot join. This is not what I'm saying. So to be very clear, Scopely, you're watching this. I'm not saying you're not invited, but the last time me and Major Samo did a state of the game with Scopely, y'all remember, was last year. They said we were too negative. Imagine, look, I get it. I'm a ginger. We can be a little bit fiery. We have reputations. They called Major Samo negative. So if you call it Major Samo negative, odds are you just don't want to be a part of what players are putting together. That's fine. They can go put out their own propaganda. We can put out our propaganda. Walla, walla, walla. But stay of the game. Let me know what topics y'all want. Comment about that in Stay of the Game. Put it in the Discord. Let us know what guests you want, and we'll add it in. Also going to be inviting Nigel, Chrono, all the big names in STFC so that we can have this be something that really goes somewhere. At least that's my plan. That's my plan. So Steve says, I look forward to seeing Tiberius on Stay of the Game. Yep. He will be there. He's going to be one of the guests. He's already been invited. Would like to see some of the free-to-play guys on Stay of the Game. Yeah. Well, I mean, technically you will see that. I'm a free-to-play guy. Like, I had somebody comment, like, Rev, you need more people who are like G3. I'm like, dude, I play on my level 36 account more than my level 63 account. I know that's shocking for people to hear, but like, I legitimately do. I really, really do play on server 710. You know why? Because I have fun. And that's a crazy concept. It's a crazy concept, but I have fun in STFC on server 710. Now, I'm not saying I don't have fun on server 20, but it's like, for example, right now you see me eyeballing an outpost. You know what that means? That means I'm going to go do an outpost, which means I'm going to tie up 2 ships for 6 hours. And I'm going to go set out a Dauntless to auto grind Texas to do that FT. And then I'm also going to use another ship to do my dailies. I basically just, I'm working, right? I'm working. That's what I'm doing. I'm working. So, yeah. Reviewing accounts today. You know what, Ian? We might. We'll see where this goes. I know I've not done the account reviews on Wednesdays in a while, and I know it's highly regarded. We will get back to it. There's just been so much going on. And again, I don't like making negative content. I love doing content that is, hey, let's focus on what you're doing, how to make you better, how to help you enjoy the game more. But then there's things that just need to get discussed, and I think Chronicles of the Ascendant needs to get discussed. Number one, here's why. And I think it's always good to lay out points of why things are important. Number one, why should we talk about Chronicles of Ascendant? Because we're seeing a pattern of multiple events either being nerfed or completely gotten rid of, right? We've seen that happen to several different events. We saw them try to completely get rid of Crucible of War. They've completely gotten rid of the Vengeance SMS for now. Obviously, G6 and G7 players very irate about that. We'll see if that changes. You've got multiple things for G5, G6, G7 that have had scoring adjustments. You know, there's a lot of frustrations right now. And that isn't even to really speak on the outpost mechanic, which, as I've said, in terms of like their hostiles and stuff, it's very doable. In terms of like, if you're level 60, you can do a 60. I can beat a 63, but I can't make it far. Granted, I've not really taken 63 content up. I'm relying on maxed 60 content, but that's just kind of the nature of where I'm at in the game. But there are plenty of players who can't progress at all because Scopely has twisted your arm, made you level up. Many of you are several levels higher than I personally would recommend. And there's a lot of you going through a struggle bus where I've got players who are level 63 who can't beat the 56. Like, seriously, they can't punch down to a 56 and beat a 56. And I'm not trying to shame them. Again, I've always said this. I blame Scopely. So there's a lot of things that we just need to acknowledge. And even though one person in our chat does point out that Scopely doesn't like constructive feedback. In fact, yesterday, one of the community managers messaged a player on the official Discord and told them that they would only pass along their feedback if they edited out the part where that player had requested a refund. I still believe feedback matters. Here's why. It's not always about going and feedback to like this community manager or that person. There are people that feedback you can get it to, whether it be CERT members in game design, live ops, where change can happen. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that everybody over at Scopely is going to listen to you. They are not. Same time, there are people who make things better for us. There are a lot of things that have come out. I've said it this year. There's a lot of good things that have happened this year. Quality of life. That's because of feedback, right? So it's still important. I get it. You're out there. You don't believe Scopely will ever love you. I'm not saying they'll love you. I'm just saying they maybe not hate you. Okay, I'm trying to find the balance. That's all I'm doing. I'm just trying to find the balance. So we're going to talk about all the things. And if you have questions, ask them. As always, that's what we're here for. Steven says, I recently just got to 60 about 2 weeks ago. I have a tier 6 and my board cube maxed my level. I can't even fully complete a 53 outpost, even with your crewing suggestions. Now, again, I don't know where all your accounts at. For example, when I was level 60, number one, I had maxed out an epic. That's actually as soon as I hit level 60, I had prepared and I had maxed out an epic. You've not, that's fine. But also things like what's your ISO at? You know, these are things and why account reviews are important. And maybe we should do account reviews today. Because like, what if your ISO is at 150% for level 60? Well, that's much lower than should be, you know, quote unquote. Even then, I hate wording it like that because it feels like I'm blaming players. It's lower than it can be. And we find the little things that maybe you need to make things better, right? That's kind of what we're looking for. So you know what? Maybe we will do that. We'll get through the Chronicles of the Ascendant stuff. We'll talk about that and just the various changes in scoring. Let's see. Here is a post by Roshi. Shout out to Roshi. I don't know if you're out there. Just to give what was the scoring like previously on some of these points. I'm going to make this on the screen. Give me just a second. So here was a post by Roshi of last month's scoring. And you can see where the scoring ranked for one, all the things that you could score on, because not all these are available now, but also what they scored as in terms of like how many points and what you were getting. And then you compare that to what is currently available. Wrath credit, Signet XP, much less, right? Recon, Transient Forge. Obviously, you see things are missing there from what we had previously. You know, there are some legitimate frustrations to be had here. Trying to be diplomatic, y'all. Okay, I am. Let's see. John says, I don't necessarily hate that they remove one or two items, but when you remove so many ways of scoring, it really sucks. I feel like I don't get rewarded for playing the game recently. It's a job for me. I see, and that's where I'm coming from. Like, none of this is meant to be like just bash, bash, bash. That's not the point. Let me show you another graphic. Right? I'm gonna show you another graphic. I actually had one of our other regulars pop up and make this. Now you might go, Rev, that's a whole lot of I can't see. What is this? Well, this is actually someone made a post. This is a level 66, and they went each feature that has come out over the past few years and said, do I have this appropriate for my level or not? That was the premise of this, is do I have everything that's come out for the past couple years appropriate for my level? Outpost, Dauntless, War Room, Mirror, PvP Arenas, Revenant, IA Building, etc. Lots of red. And this is a level 66 player. That's a mid spender. They're not pure free to play. Looky, right? That's no bueno, right? So like you shouldn't have some of your most active players that got 50% of the content not unlocked and they spend in your game. That's part of the frustration for things like Chronicle of the Ascendant being changed, because that leads to people, one, feeling punished for if they're saving up things, right? They're being punished. It's here I was trying to score in this event, you've removed that ability. And then you have the fact that because people are getting less rewards now they move even slower, even though you're telling people to move faster. Now, Tenor Medley, I always mess that up, is COTA G5 only now? Yes, that's another change. In fact, I have my G3 account up right now in the background because we're doing a territory capture. Yes, we actually have territory battles on server 710. Thankfully, not right now in the middle of the stream, but I'm currently doing that. But if you want to see my events for today, and keep in mind, I'm saying this where I actually believe the lower levels have had a good month. I really do believe that. I actually really like the Causality Pass right there. I like the main timeline story, and I like the progression it's giving the average player. There are some things they've done good this month, and it's hard to say given everything, but there are. They've nailed this. G7, complete face plant. G5, G6, legit frustrations, very unhappy. This was very well done. You get a golf clap, but it's a golf clap. By the way, Luke, good to see you. Welcome in. So, welcome in. Thanks for endeavoring to pronounce my name right, Rev. Sucks that Chronicle of the Ascendant is not G4 anymore. Yeah, again, look, it's just some of the adjustments they're making just are bad, right? Like, I can understand not having, Chronicles of the Ascendant and G3. They're also giving me things in G3 that make up for that, right? There are legitimately good things in there that you can do. At the same time, where's everything else? You can't say upgrade and then be missing the main things upgrade. So obviously COTA has got a lot of frustration. It's got a lot of, resentment, and a lot of it's built up resentment. Like, I don't really believe that everybody looks at COTA and goes, well, that's the one thing. It's just, as we've said ad nauseum at this point, it's the straw on the camel, man. It's just a lot of those moments are happening close together, and a lot of it is live ops repeatedly. Now, I'm not saying live ops isn't doing their job. That's not what I'm saying. I firmly believe that live ops is under orders to have over monetized events, and we're going to pull the Vengeance SMS and then release the IAP in-app purchase for the Vengeance. You need 1,000 blueprints. We're going to sell them to you 25 at a time at $100 a pop. Yeah, I believe they're being ordered to do that. But at some point, and again, we were actually talking about this in the Voice of the Player podcast Discord yesterday, right? At some point, it does come back to Connor, right? The GM. And, I'm not saying I didn't appreciate his ransom video. I mean, I do appreciate him coming out and speaking. That said, I don't need a ransom video right now. He was actually promised another video by now that is yet to happen. I'll be honest, at this point, you inserted yourself in as the GM weeks ago, right? You should have already been here, which they were present. What I'm saying is you should have already been cognizant of the feedback, the problems, etc. Maybe you weren't. Maybe you were listening to bad people. But at this point, you'd have to be willfully ignorant, as in you're purposely not listening if you're not listening at this point, right? So I don't need a apology video, a ransom video from Connor. I need either a new person in charge or a complete flip on what's going on. And this has been very heavy in the Voice of the Player podcast. For those that don't know, that has started by Nigel. It was originally just something that was in the VIP area because certain people over at Scopely wanted to try to, push Nigel to the side. It's now something for everybody. I strongly encourage y'all to check it out if you haven't already. It is on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartRadio, etc. Check out the Voice of the Player podcast. Really good stuff. Anyway, back to the topics at hand. Leonard says COTA is kind of a straw, is getting pretty close to breaking the camel's back. Yeah, and I get that. Now, Lube says it's the straw that just completely whooped the camel in the butt, and that's fair too. Again, always want players to know that, at least in this area, your frustrations are validated. Like, I definitely experienced them myself. Hell, I'm debating, do I even start this solo outpost or do I actually run a wave right now? I don't know. I really need to get more retaliation rewards, but God, what the heck? Is there a 60 available? Maybe I should just do a 60 and just say heck it. I don't know. But yeah, again, that's not fun gameplay. Me just sitting here racking my brain over what's actually valuable for my day. I want to go do something fun, right? It's like Dozer says, no FOMO, right? No FOMO. You know why I'm doing Outpost? Because the pass, right? I actually think the pass is good. I like the pass. I've said that. I'm not saying I'm going to buy the pass because my focus is on paying off my medical bills, but I still want the free-to-play track on the pass. I like the pass. I'm doing the pass. So, John says, have you actually done the second mission chain? The rewards are nice. I've not. I did the first one, which include the speed-ups that you can't use yet, but I've not done the second set of missions yet. Thank you for the call-out. Maybe that's something that we could do today. That is the Front Lines mission, for those who aren't aware. And I know I've had a lot of people asking. There's, op socks and various things, but we can go do that as well. We'll send our Negvar out so we can actually say we use it. And everybody they'll stop making fun of me for having a Negvar. So, which includes more speed ups you can't use yet. Yeah, but obviously we know things like the speed ups, that's going to be next month. That's going to be December. So there's something to look forward to, right? My big complaint with Outpost is the lag on the mechanic, the stability issues. They did fix a lot of that with the mid-month update. At least I've seen a lot less reports of the problems. I'm not saying everything is fixed. I'm sorry, guys. It's just not going to happen. We're not going to reach a point where everything's fixed in STFC. Just a spoiler alert. But, that was a lot of my major issues with some of this month. They've started to work on that somewhat. So we'll see what next month looks like is what I'm saying. What crew are you using? For what, Robert? For what? For what? One of the CMs said earlier in Discord that the Connor video is delayed with no new date announced. Surprise, surprise. How dare not show his face after the lies he told. See, it's crazy, Redman, because I do believe Connor meant what he said, but that doesn't mean he's executing on what he said. And I am not a fan. Number one, let me just go out and say this. I don't do cancel culture. I think that's stupid. But this isn't cancel culture. This is saying this is not working, as in the game. At the end of the day, this is a business. And I shared with y'all in State of the Game. The player numbers are going down. They've been going down. They're not stabilized. They're going down, right? Spending is going down. When you have Istio, and again, I use Istio as a reference because he's a kind guy and he talks to me a lot, but it's not just Istio. I've talked to Sid. I've talked to Jazbo. I've talked to Panda, right? All these guys, like the pinnacle of spending is in spending. Like Istio is level 72. He has not gone to 73 and he's not buying the rep packs. He's actually talked about that's like one of the big turnoffs for him is the fact that they're trying to force the rep pack issue just to get the 73 uncommons. And historically, players did that. They're not doing that now. And I think it all comes back to things like COTA, comes back to things like the vengeance. It's all these little things that are causing the level of frustration just to not do anything. And Outpost, I'm using the same crews, Robert, I shared in my video. Here, I'll give you a quick thing. So just 5 Khan, Gorkon, and then Galron, Riker, Lorca. I could change this up a little bit. I'm not saying these are perfect crews. It's just generic what I'm running right now because I get tired of moving stuff around. I've said that a lot. You get really annoyed with constantly just moving things here, there, everywhere. And I'm sure many of you do as well. So, is there a way to source epic augment credits besides the daily drip of 40 and the 5-day pull? The epic augment credits you'd get from your refinery and your augment refinery. I don't know what level you're at, T-Lag. So, whoever the comp chests are sending out, the latest comp chest felt really lackluster. I'm still waiting on an update to that. I actually did talk to Obsidian Hamster and one of the VIP CMs about the outpost compensation. We actually had a whole session here on the stream where we talked about what should that compensation look like. We sent it to them. They have received it. They are discussing it. I do not know when the second comp is rolling out. Hopefully soon, because the whole point of waiting was to make sure that the updates and stuff actually fixed a lot of the problems. There's no point really sending out a comp if the mechanic was still broken, which is logical. I get that. It's completely fine. It's completely fine. But don't forget it, is what I'm saying. Like, don't make us Mantis all over again. Who here remembers the Mantis comp that never came? Some people still cry about the Mantis comp to this day. They're weeping. A little gnashing of teeth as well. So, yeah. There's some of the rewards as we're doing it, by the way. So you get some of that common outpost components, the credits, and then the directives, which probably the most valuable thing right now is actually getting directives to do this. But we'll complete this mission while we talk. Why not Giorgio in place of one of the hull breach officers? Hull breach is applied to targets. No reason to run 2 of them. So Ryan, simple answer, just moving things around. Giorgio gets used a lot in my away teams. I'm not saying that's a bad recommend. Not saying that at all. I'm just saying gets used in a lot of other spots. If I was going to add something, I'd probably add morale to a ship rather than burning, because burning, remember, background burning is only going to give me a very small ISO boost. Now, more is more, and I'm not saying more is bad. More is more, but it's just a really small ISO boost for those hostiles, and maybe go for the shield regeneration version with morale. But either way, I'm just kind of, I'm able to completely do 56s, and if I do recrew perfectly, I can do a 60. But, yeah. Yeah. The game is still eating my wave directives. They don't seem to care about crashing out of waves. You talking about regular waves? Like the elite solos or which? You think you can do a 63? I can't beat a 63. My ships just don't have enough hull health to survive all the way through. Can I beat the 63 outposts and stuff? Sure. But remember, you won't, and see, this is tough. if you can, you want to complete an outpost because you want to get to the final 30 hostiles. Remember, the final 30 hostiles is what pays out the plunder currency. The plunder currency is what allows you to get the officer, the premium mirror dust, the primes. So, like, can I punch up or at my weight? Yeah, a little bit I can. But can I make it all the way to the plunder and do it? Currently not. Again, there are things I can move around, but this actually comes back to the point of why I enjoy my Server 36 account more, even though I've only got 4 docks and technically more loops to do at Server 36, or I'm sorry, Server 710 at level 36. It's a more enjoyable experience because it really is a at my pace experience. Whereas up here in G6 and G7, it's very much a, you've got to do the latest thing. You got to do it. What do you do? You got to do it, which means you got to take advantage of this, that, and the other. It is a little bit of FOMO. I will completely acknowledge that. So, where's the list of percentages for the jelly scrapping? Video. I don't have it memorized. I think it's like 613% for the rares, maybe. But ISS jelly scrapping video right here on the channel. I don't mind if you jump off the live and go watch it. I promise I don't. I completely get it. Pip says at this point, I take a game with no new content and then just fixing all the bugs. They're multiplying like crazy. I'll say this, Pip. If that can't happen because the game wouldn't survive. Like the game would die. We've discussed this. It's an irritating fact that none of us can get around. They can't take time off to fix all the problems. 1, you can't do it in just like a month. And 2, if this game just has no income coming in, it's done. It's not like the game's got like $100 million in just like cash sitting behind it. Just like, yeah, take a month off. So what we have to do is try to get what good we can, quality of life improvements, bug fixes, while also knowing new content is coming. Now, I would love for them to slow down the content. I just know they're not going to, because the model breaks if you do that. So, you thought there was a cheat sheet? I mean, I do have a graphic. I guess I can go grab a graphic. Hold on, let me see if I still have the graphic handy. Usually I save a lot of the graphics on my Discord. Yep, here you go. Boop. I found it for you. Still go watch the video because the views help. Like the video if you're here, by the way. Appreciate you. But there you go. This is your break-even / profit point for scrapping your ISS jelly. So the uncommons and the rares. There you go. Maybe the model isn't working and they should change the model. Yeah, the model worked. Here's the counter to that, Pip. The model worked for 7 years. And even if they want to change the model, how do you pivot the model 7 years later? It's just not that easy. Like, I'm not saying that in concept, I don't agree with you, but it's not that easy. You can't just do something for 7 years and go complete change. It's not that easy. But I'm with you. Like, I agree in concept, but the execution of that concept is very difficult. For example, how would it be easier to do what you and I are talking about? Fire half the staff. Downsize incredibly small. But that's also me saying people need to lose their jobs. I don't want to say that. That's people are people at the end of the day. Like, you're a person behind this screen. I don't want you to lose your job. I don't want anybody to lose their job. I want people to do their job well. Like, I'm not making excuses for bad jobs and bad content. But let's say that we wanted them to move to a quarterly update cycle. Well, then they'd have to drastically lower their overhead. Quickest way to do that for most companies is slash your staff. And this is already a staff, by the way, that seems to be full of more junior devs than it does senior devs, right? And again, this is not something I'm advocating for. I feel like we're getting a little bit in the weeds at the moment, but I 100% get where you're coming from and agree in principle. It's just, how do we actually get that change that we're talking about? You know what I mean? So, fix the bugs, more ships in the IA, test content better. Look, I get all that, but again, those are simple things to say, right? Ships in the IA is the actually only doable thing, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I know y'all well enough. If they had added in 2 ships in the IA, like if they had added the Mantis and the Meridian into the IA this month, and then everything had still happened, Outpost had still happened, Chronicles of the Ascendant had still happened, the IA would not have made it to where you're like, I'm okay with all these problems. It wouldn't have. So even though that's a low-hanging fruit I agree they should do, that's not the answer either. So it's a very difficult problem. I hope they figure it out. All I can do is give feedback. So that's all I can do. How about running 2-month-long arcs instead of just 1 month so they work for longer to ensure things work properly? Again, sure. But if you did that, you're telling the company they have to lose money. Now, counter argument, they're losing money now. There are people who aren't spending like they were. There's not enough people to make up for the whales they've lost. Completely agree. There's two ways to approach it. Completely stop what you're doing, try to switch it around, redo everything, or run it as long as you can the way that things are going. It's also something to be said, though, Skippy. There's no guarantee that if they turn things into 2-month arcs, that you'd have a different result anyway. There's no guarantee that that would happen. Bruno says, I'm amazed how they effed the good sentiment they had at the start of last year after they introduced the IA building. I'm not amazed at it. I've been here 7 years, which is probably why I'm not as mad as certain other people. People who've only been here like 3 years are like really pissed. And I'm over here like, I'm irritated. This sucks, but been here before, you know? So Luna says, I was going to buy the battle pass, but will not be buying anything right now. Fair. So fair. Yeah. Daniel says, I haven't even been able to do an outpost yet because they're always full. Mostly because of people like Rev punching down to 56s. Thank you for making me feel bad, but at the same time, you're not wrong. Ardlac says they're living their best game life in G5. I'm telling you, man, if you really want to enjoy STFC, be in G3 through G5 right now. And it just, sure, there are things, but it's a lot of fun to be had there. There's a lot of fun to be had there. You know, so there's that. Anyway, get distracted. We need to focus real quick. If I was to get from y'all feedback on Chronicles of the Ascendant, what's the main thing that y'all would like to see change / return? I need that answer, and then we can do some account looks. We can take a look at people's accounts, see, hey, who's not done this research, who's not done this, that, or the other. But we need to refocus real quick. More of the remaining players might buy if the pack prices were lower. Many countries have a cost of living, and a $100 Euro pack is out of reach for many. Well, they're already doing that. That's why October had like 9 battle passes. So, already done. There you go. Right now, and depending on what level you're at, you've got these 3 passes and this one. You got 4 active right now, all lower price points. So yeah, done. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I leave that one out? 5 right now. Left that one out. So done. They have been doing that. They've been releasing cheaper things. Now, at the end of the day, though, it comes back to sentiment. There are cheaper items now. Anybody who's played this game for 7 years can tell you that the game is way cheaper now to progress and to get things than it was at any point in the game's history. But at the same time, people are so mad, you're not noticing that. Look at all these $19 battle passes and stuff. Look at these cheap weekly offers. This didn't used to exist. This wasn't a thing. That was not a thing. Thing now. $50 primes? What do you want? What? But because people are justifiably angry, that doesn't matter. What really needs to get fixed is the game itself. The base core, run better, be better, etc. The same thing we've been saying for years. They are running cheaper packs. And that's great. Right? I love that there's more battle passes. I said it in a video 2 weeks ago. I think it's good for the game. If they want to release content every month, cool. Give me a new battle pass. Give me 15 battle passes. I don't care. I'll focus on the ones that I think are valuable. Because that's free things that I can do. And if I really want to reward you for the work, I'll pay you $1. Or in this case, $20. So. All right. So, Sugar Fat Man says, run COTA for all ops levels. For those who don't know, it is only G5 and above right now. So Chronicles of the Ascendant isn't even available for G4 anymore. Make all special ships and special faction store currencies score. Simple as that. I think those 2 changes alone return COTA to being a good event that is beneficial to the average player. But if you have other recommendations, throw them in. I think those alone are good, but I'm definitely here for more. Kevin says, I'm in G3. I bought the battle pass because I think it was worth it. All those specialty building currencies are nice. There you go. And look, I will praise them when they do good things. Am I finally happy that there are lower price points in the game? Abso-heckin-lutely. I really heckin' am. I'm not going to stop calling out when there are problems and things are bad, but hey, we've been screaming for lower price points. We've got lower price points. It may not be necessarily in the perfect ways that maybe everybody wanted them, but you certainly got them. It's good. Latinum says G7 players scoring requirements for COTA too high without spending. Now I will say this, Latinum. So what we're arguing for is not that COTA should be completely free to playable. It's that there should remain all the options of scoring it that were there before. I do want to remind you, Platinum Cat, and I'm not being mean to you as a person. You went to G7. By design, nothing you do in G7 is supposed to be free. So if you aren't familiar with the model, maybe you're new, maybe you're not, whatever. When they release a premium area, this is how they use, this is their verbiage for when they release things, G4, G5, G6, G7. When they release it, especially with it being less than 6 months old, you are not expected to do anything free in G7. So my arguments for G7 are always to get the content working, but any argument I make for things to be cheaper are going to fall on deaf ears. They're just going to ignore that completely. Can absolutely argue for scoring mechanic changes or like the outpost not working or your dauntless not working in surges. Absolutely can argue for that. Any argument I make for the economy of G7, they're just going to ignore. It's just how it is. Here's the planned rollout for if this game makes it to G8. Doubt. If it makes it G8, here's how this works. Premium area rolls out. People get frustrated at the cost. Like right now, it's $10,000 in packs to go from 70 to 73 rep level, as in get the 25 trillion rep you need, not counting what it costs to level it up, though stuff in those packs will help you level up. 10,000 to get the rep needed to build a 73 uncommon. People aren't spending that. They used to, they're not right now. But here's how it's going to work. And this is just how they always do it. G7's rolled out. In 3 to 6 months after release, you'll start getting the first serious economy reprieve in G7. However, it will still be expensive. But 3 to 6 months in is where the first set of economy updates start rolling out, and it's always a response to feedback. Yeah, it was always planned. And then you'll have another set that come out around 9 to 12 months. And then 2 years down the road, that entire area of the game is meant to be pure free to play. Just like you see in G6 now, there are pure free to plays level 70. Well, it's 2 years later, right? And if you really want to like walk across broken glass, you can free to play it in year 1. But that's not the intent. The intent is for Cat to go to G7 like Ballybomb did, and we want them to spend $10,000 on the rep. We want them to spend $100,000 to make it to level 80. That's just what they expect. I'm not saying do it. In fact, I think, as we've been discussing, they need to change their format. And what would be better is sell me $20 cosmetics and sell me $20 battle passes, and I'll buy 5 of those rather than one of your stupid packs. But again, we gotta get to that point. I do think that they see it. If that is any consolation to anybody, I do think they see it. And there's shifting, but really, really slowly. And if you want proof they're shifting, look at the fact that you have 5 battle passes right now, and you had 8 total in October. That's clearly a shift to a lower level of spend focus, right? That's clearly saying Rev Deuce, who can afford $10 plaid shirts, is who I want to get my money from, more than, you know, Istio, who currently is not willing to spend $10,000 to buy rep. He's just not. You know, those players are dwindling. Scopely does seem to notice. I just think they're moving really, really, really slow. Like freaking turtle slow. Now, Latinum says the difference is doing the more mundane things versus getting the shiny new toy. And that, I'm right there with you, Latinum. G7 is a mess. Some of the things have been fixed in terms of the broken, but there's just nothing really to do because it's unfinished, just like G6 was and G5, G4. Yeah, it's not fleshed out. So that's not fun either. So it's not fun either. How you doing, Bruce? Welcome in. Said, I read the patch. I'm missing the nerf. The nerf wasn't listed in the patch. We're talking about COTA was nerfed, which was a very popular event, Chronicles of the Ascendant. Several of the scoring mechanics were removed to make it harder to complete. That is the most recent outrage currently ongoing. That's the most recent one. It was also removed from G4 players, and then you just end up having a lot of people just not doing it at all. Now, at the same time, is that the worst problem we've ever faced? No, it's just one of those that like, it feels like we're constantly talking about bad things and we need a good thing to happen. It's why I was hoping, and I told y'all I didn't think it was going to happen. I was hoping it was going to happen. I was hoping that the mid-month patch, they would throw in a couple of IA additions just to get some goodwill back, because they have multiple ships ready to go in the IA. They have them. Like, they're already set up and designed for it. They just need to do it. I don't know why they haven't done that yet. I was really hoping that they would do that for the mid-month patch just to win back some goodwill. But yeah, here we are. I do think that Sugar Fatman gave some good suggestions that would make COTA better. And I will, of course, pass along all this feedback, as many of you have already been posting it, by the way. And I've already shared some of it as well. It's not like it hasn't been shared, but to reinforce it. Yeah. Any news on incursions? Nothing I got for you. Why do some of the IA masteries give you currencies that you can't even use once you've unlocked the mastery? Doesn't matter. Shouldn't matter, Steven. I'll be honest. I've answered that question so many times, and I'm not trying to be rude to you, but it shouldn't matter if they do give you it or not. It's free. Who cares? Who cares? Reverend Johnson's playing since May of 2020. The pocket I've found has always been right behind the latest ops lock content. Wait a couple months and level up. Yeah, I mean, that is where there's less frustration. 100%. Where there's less frustration. Yeah, play where it's fun. And it's getting harder to find that. Are they doing something to give more Ferengi store credit for G3 through G4? Not that I'm aware of, no. Not that I'm aware of. They have done some really good things for the just general progression and events of low levels, but in terms of paying out more store currency, no, I'm not aware of anything. Would I love that? Of course I would. So, of course I would. All right. Romulan Outpost, which buff do we use? Are you talking about the Outpost buff itself? Number one, I would not do the Romulan Outpost, which is being honest. Would not do the Romulan Outpost. Those are the worst ones to do. But if you're going to do them, the buff to activate is going to be the main retaliation buff inside the Outpost. But of all the ones to do, that's the one I would tell you to do the least. Like, there's a part of the reason that Outpost is so full is we have everybody doing, and they should be, everybody's doing the, here, man, I need to set up these to just go ahead and pull. Everybody's doing like the Borg ones. So, oh, wait, those, oh man, did I just mess it up? I just messed up, my bad. Klingons the ones we don't do. My Lanta. Wow, okay, that's on me. Over here freaking out for the wrong reason. That is a fail. Yeah, y'all can all laugh at the content creator. He's an idiot. Why do we watch him? I don't know. I still haven't figured out why y'all watch me. I don't know. But you know what? How about this? I'll make it up to you by showing you. I'll go ahead and launch that Outpost. Yep. No, don't. Yep. Don't watch this guy. He's stupid. Ignore the rev. So we're going to turn on this Outpost as a thank you. Because it is the Romulan ones you want to do. It's the Borg ones that you better let me join, you little lint licker. Thank you. All right, so once that runs, we'll show you which ones to activate. But there's really only one you need to worry about, and it's the main one for the retaliation for the ISO defense. So, yep, my bad, y'all. These are the ones you were looking for. These are the ones you're ignoring. Gosh, what a screw up. I'm glad y'all got a laugh, though. What a screw up. Oh, man. I do appreciate y'all being here. I really do. It's awesome that y'all are here. It's awesome that as a community we can come together, whether we're frustrated or whatever, and find some laughs and find some fun. So, Alexis, I agree the IA update won't really do much, as they seem to be content on 1 or 2 ships per update. If they want to get some brownie points, they need to launch 5 or 6 at once, but that ain't happening. I'll be honest, Alexis, I don't even agree with that point that you're making. Why? Because they already added in 8. If they added in, again, I'm trying to be fair. Look at where the archive's at right now. It's not even 8. I lied. It's 10. 10 ships. If they added in 10 ships a year, that's completely reasonable. We kind of got spoiled that they did like 4 at a time. But like if they did 10, if they did not add a single one for the rest of the year, and we knew they'd add 10 more next year, who cares? The problem is we don't know they're going to add more. We always are on that precipice, that cliff of this might be the last time they're ever nice to me. So I want it now. But like, even if they didn't touch this the rest of the year, if they would tell us, yeah, we're adding 10 more ships next year, I really wouldn't care. All I care is, am I getting my 10 loops wrapped up? I still want more. Don't get me wrong. Like, I absolutely want more. But even if this is all we got this year, it's still one of the greatest things to ever happen to this game. No debate. Like, it's A+. It is literally A+ good. A+ good. It can be A++ good, but it's still A+. I would like them to come out and be willing to say, we're going to do another 10, same thing next year. That's what I want. I want them to say, we're going to do it again. You liked it so much, let's do it again. That's what I want. I want guarantees that we're going to do the same thing again in 2026. And if they did that, I wouldn't care. But, yeah. All right, I'm going to answer whatever questions y'all have here for the next couple minutes, and then we're going to rotate over. We're going to do some account reviews based on y'all's requests. So, one ship at the start of every arc. And see, somebody actually don't like that. Here's my argument. That's only 6 ships a year, because right now they're doing 2-month arcs. That's only 6 ships a year. So I don't care if I get them in chunks of 4, 7, whatever. I just want more than I get, right? So far this year, in the archive, you've gotten more ships to archive than have been released. That's the win. So, all right, let's jump in here. We're talking about the things that we can do. The main one you want to focus on for this one is going to be the retaliation, isolate, defense. These two aren't going to do anything for you. Ignore this, do this. I mean, do this if you really want help with hostile grinding. But if we're talking about like just specifically what's going to help us do better against the outpost itself and its hostiles, this is what you're looking for. The retaliation ones. Those are the ones that are going to help benefit you against the outpost itself. Remember, these bonuses are only active as long as the outpost is active and you control it. So as soon as your timer's up or your ships die, you no longer get these bonuses. So focus on the retaliation one. So focus on those. And there's my 20,000 outpost points. God, just beating the outpost, being the way to do that event. Again, like, you got to give them credit. Like, they could have said, oh, you've got to beat 70 waves. They didn't. Just go beat an outpost. Like, just beat one. Now, we can still argue there's not enough for certain levels. I'm there. But, gosh, this event could have been way worse. That could have been so much worse. All right. Oh, this is a 56, Kal-El. This is not a 60. I probably should have gone to a 60, but nah, we're here. This is a 56. Station defense officers activate while defending an outpost. No, they do not. No. Good question, though. Definitely not a question I've had before. Good question. But no, they do not. All right, I'm going to do bulk refine. There we go. Start working my way downtown. Walking fast, faces past. All right, got all that. Cool. Start working my way on the, oh gosh, look at all the things I need to do. I need to go hunt more OPC. I need to get more of those. So much to do. There's just not enough. Not enough time in the day. Are the outposts considered hard by the community because I don't know how strong they are for me to try to do for my own ops level? See, that's such a difficult topic. Do I believe they're hard? No. Do I believe that if you've really bitten into FOMO over the past 6 to 12 months, you're in trouble? Yes. Like, I'll say it this way. If you're a player who plays slow, let's say you're a really strong 53, can you do the 53s? Yes. I would still probably recommend you punch down to the independent one, but you could. We have 53s who are doing 53s, and they're not people who are spending $1,000 a month. It's like, those people exist. Those exist. But most people aren't there. Right? Like Sugar Fat Man's here. He's at 52. He beats the 53s, or he does 53s and kills like 4 or 5 hostiles. So is anyone completing the 73? Yeah, Estio has. Estio is currently working on the one after. So he's working on the one after. I was actually talking to him about that earlier. I have a screenshot of it, I believe. One second. Uno moment. He's working. He wants to do the 80. I'm like, bro, you're not ready for the 80. He's done the, here, I'm reading, one second. Which ones? He's killed a 76. He's working towards the 80. So here, I'll put that screenshot on so you can see it. He's working towards the 80. This is how he currently does against the 80. And as you can see, not even close. So that's with a 530 bill Vengeance, a 178 bill Cube, and a 153 mil Int. Obviously, he did pay to get the third option, third ship. So he's got, that done. But he can beat a 76. He has not beat an 80. And he's only level 72. So. Yep, there you go. Liger says that's the issue. They release content that since players without spending tons of money on it can't really do it at their level. So even if they are plenty of systems, hostiles, etc. for normal gameplay, they become too crowded to complete the events at launch. Yeah, here's the problem, Liger. Stop listening to Scopely and stop leveling up. If players played like Rev tries to teach them to play, it wouldn't matter. For example, any player who plays level 53 like I tell them to play beats the 53 outpost. Now, I'm not saying they dominate it, but they can beat the outpost and they can make it through hostiles. People who don't play like I play, people who are close. Let's put it this way. There's two extremes in the game. Rev is on one end of the extreme, which is pretty slow. I don't expect everybody to play as slow as me, but I'm on one extreme. The other extreme is the FOMO, which is the Scopely side. The closer you are to this extreme, the less likely you are to do content for your level. That's just how it is. The closer you are to this, the less likely you're going to be able to do content of your level without spending. Right? There are 63s who play my speed because I'm not caught up to where I want to be as a 63. There are 63s that I know that go through the 63 and they max it out. As in at level 63, they get all 72 hostiles and beat the output. So it comes to like how you want to play the game. If you listen to Scopely, you're going to struggle. And I have to remind you, that's the point. They want you to be in pain. Pain makes you tempted to buy. For example, let's say you're a 56 and you're struggling to even beat the 53s. That pain might tempt you to upgrade your building so you can bring a third ship. That opens up, the third ship actually opens up a ton of options. Me and Pseudo have talked about it in my Discord a lot. Just having the third ship, once you get to that building level 40, will change the dynamic of Outpost greatly. It's that little bit of pain. But 2-3 months down the road, once people finally get their building up to 40, it's not going to be that bad anymore. It's that initial bit. They're trying to purposely twist your arm in month 1 to get the spin. And then they move off and don't care if you spend on that thing. Like they don't care if in February 2026, somebody goes back and bought their building to level 40. Like, are they happy that happened? Sure. But the focus is to get you to buy this level 40 right now. Do it now. Do it. That's what they're trying to do. So if you play closer to Rev's extreme, you don't worry about it. You give them the money that you feel like they deserve if it's like a battle pass, but for the most part, you ignore things. It's why, even though I've played this game for almost 7 years, I've chosen to be the only content creator in that time span who's not gone up to G7. Like everybody who's played as long as I have is up there. There's some who are just a smidge below G7 at the top of G6. Could I have been there? Yeah. Do I have accounts that nice people will let me log in and play on? Sure. There's a reason I play slow. This is why. Because I know Scopa does not have your best interest at heart. They have their wallet's best interest. So it just depends on where you're at. But we'll try to help everybody get to where you want to be. That's really the goal. Because there's nothing wrong with being the player that says, hey, I want to level up faster. If that's how you want to enjoy the game, awesome. We'll try to work around, what we need to work around. I feel bad for launching this 56. I should have done the 60, but oh well. It'll be fine. I'll clear that 56 without really any problem, which means more Valor tokens for Rev. I should have done the 60. You're still at 50? Well, welcome back, Charles. Good to see you. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Let's grab G5 players. We're going to do... We're just going to take a look at some player accounts, do account reviews. Remember, this is how it works. Do not spam message me your account information. I'll call you out from chat, then message me on Discord. And then I'll need, number one, obviously your name in game, so we can look it up on stfc.pro. And then number two, any questions you might have. Can you beat the level 53.55? Like me personally, or can it be done? Can it be done? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Now, are you asking, like, can you 72 out of 72 it? That's doable. I mean, how campy do you want to play? But it's doable. It might be more advantageous to just do the 51. It, again, depends on the account. So, all right, so we're going to start with G5 players. Just throw out your ops level. First one I see Steven. Steven, shoot me your information on Discord, and then we'll look at your account. We'll start with that one, then we'll work on an account. So, Tony says, I know I'm a week 66, but you'll be a week 71. All I care about is, are you having fun? That's all I care. So, you send me that message, Steve, and we'll get you in, and we'll start going through, and we'll try to hit a few different ones as we watch the most exciting content ever, the auto grinding of a 56. We have a 66 sitting on here. I actually feel less bad. There's like 68s and stuff sitting on here. Come on, guys. It's all Sigma players. It's all Sigma players with the 56s. Gosh, I feel bad. I want to send a ship to the 60. Like, who's actually here? I should have launched a 60. I feel bad now. I'm taking things away from other people. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right, Mr. Tachycardia, you need to send me your questions, and we'll see where you are for your player or for your level. But send me your questions as well. Oof, got a ways to go. All right. But yeah, go ahead and post your questions. Do you have any players for Advice and Surge? Speed Cruise, Speed Cruise, Speed Cruise. Dauntless if you got it, but Speed Cruise, Speed Cruise, Speed Cruise. I mean, legitimately, that's how you do it. Swap this for Riker, speed, 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 speed. Dauntless and speed. Dauntless and speed. That's what you're doing. Want to know what I could do to clear these outposts fully, mainly the 53s or even higher? All right, well, we'll take a look at it, Danny, because I'm going to be honest, your account, a little low. Wow, there is a 70 over here. What in the world? Short? Anyway, yeah, so there's a free one I could have launched. All right, so Tachycardia is currently, right here, the 2,853rd strongest level 60 at level 60. So number one, I can just tell by this power, you're missing a lot of things. Not just docks and stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong. I really doubt you've got a maxed epic ship. You don't have a maxed G5 epic. This is down. This is a low number. I mean, this is in the bottom half because there's 3,771 level 60s. You're in the bottom half. Now, that's fine. We can always get stronger, but that's definitely bottom half. So number one, we want to get you to max an epic ship, a G5 epic. Number one, that's got to be a focus. Number one, max the epic. That's going to be huge, not only for below deck spots, but number two, to help you in solo waves. I'm going to assume you're also probably not, highly unlikely, but maybe, you're not beating the G5 Elite wave yet either, which would really help with your progression. Keeping up with your solo waves, your solo elites really, really helps with progression right now in the game. So, number one, we need to max that epic. Possibly even pick up a second. Depends on how your specialty ships are. Because this comes back to how do we want to run outposts. You asked the question, Haven't even unlocked superior rep with the Augment Exiles. Only recently unlocked the ship. All right, so, okay, noted. You have a tier 6 Enterprise D. All right, mission number 1, max out the D. Scrap an Enterprise A, get to work. That's mission number 1. Okay, mission number 1, max the Enterprise D. Number 2 really depends on how you want to attack outposts in terms of your second ship. You could use your Borg cube. If you're maxing out your Enterprise, you're going to be able to take the cube, tier 13. You're going to be able to take it up pretty high. Or you can rely on things like the Relativity. Relativity gets really strong in G4 and G5. Not sure where yours is at. I personally prefer the method of 2 epics at G5. I just think that's better. Obviously, I'm biased because that's what I do. So, yeah, y'all saw me. I actually did all 3 of them, but I maxed out 2 epics at level 60 because it helped me do all the things. Now, beyond just ships, number one thing I'm going to tell you you need to go do is you just told me you have not done your augment. Mission number 2, augment. I don't care if you stop what you're doing, like ignore outposts completely. You need to go grind the heck out of this so that you can do 2 things. Max out Wrath of Khan Joaquin and unlock Fleet Commander Khan, maybe even max him out. At your level, already, you should be able to beat the Khan's champion level 3. And in terms of timing, you should already have been doing this because since you're in G5, you've got the ships high enough to grind the rep without needing the Reliant. But now that you have the Reliant, it's even quicker. This is number 2 priority besides maxing out your epic ship. You need to go grind the heck out of Augment. There's a lot of good in Augment. Number 1, arguably the best below deck officer in the game. He is probably the best below deck officer in the game. And before anybody asks, yes, he works against the outpost. Yes, I understand his description says things like hostiles. Ignore the description. The description is wrong. The description is wrong. So you want to get this. Another bonus. Again, just looking at your account, tachycardia, not saying you're a bad player, but fun hint, not a lot of people know. I'm going to assume, based on your power, you also don't have all your officers maxed out. Completely okay. Once you max out Mr. Joaquim over here, you're going to come in here, do his affinity upgrade, and it automatically turns into the standard tokens. This is going to allow you to start speed running, number 1, your Common Wrath recruit chest, which is either going to give you more transporter patterns or help you max out officers you've not already maxed out, like 5 of 11, like Hugh for below decks, etc. That's very nice. That also is going to give you more common credits to start flying through these favors to get all those early things done, which is again helping you max out officers faster. That's the main focus, is getting a lot of those things done, being able to fly through those. It's really, really good. That's your number 2 focus. Start flying through here. I also didn't even speak on the fact that, you need to get the quantum slipstream drive and, the skins. All the things that are in here are just very, very good. Focus on those. Go out and grab all that. That's like number 2. Number 3 for you would be to work on your GS31 if you haven't already, because I really want to get you working on the G5 Elite solos. Just getting the GS31, the Garbage Scout at tier 8, should be enough to help you beat the G5 Elites. That's going to be using a combination of the Beam, free Prime to get your Central Whole Health entity up to 5 hostiles instead of 3, and then having your Rotaran and your Enterprise D that you've already said you've got. That's going to be your number 3 task. So, in doing all these things that we're talking about is collectively going to help you progress through all the other content as well, like Outpost. Having a stronger Rotaran, having a stronger GS31, etc. is going to help you do the progressing things that you want to do. This is just all the annoying, crap you got to do to get there. So that means that we're going to be also focusing on Section 31. We're going to be pulling things like one we could do our field repairs, but we got Dolomite there. We've got officers. A lot of that's PvP, somewhat ignorable. But we've got, whoops, didn't mean to click that button. I wanted to keep the game on the screen while we were chit-chatting. But you got a lot of artifacts in here. That'd be very beneficial, especially upgrading certain things. We want to focus on that. And then that also opens up this right here. You might go, why do I care about more armadas? Rare Zindi Armada chests are super good. The only complaint we ever had about Zindi Armada chest was the fact that we could never get enough directives to actually run them to get the chest. Now you can, so you want to do that. Again, that's not even including all the other things you get from waves, because obviously you have the wave battle pass. That's really good, etc., etc. And then other thing to focus on, DTI. Another one that just has a lot of good stuff and can also give you a very strong ship early on. Now, any other questions that you have? Because I've just given you 4 things to like focus on, and honestly, it's a lot of things. But is there anything else you have a question on? Or any question you have specifically about what I have brought up? And we can go into like more detail about any of the things that we just discussed. Because there's more I can give you. Like, I didn't talk about artifacts. I didn't talk about finishing your mirror stuff. I didn't talk about your refineries. That's the wonder of STFC. It's so incredibly complex. I think it's better to give people piecemeal things. Like, I'm going to give you 3 or 4 things to work on. Once you do that, we'll move on to the next thing. Instead of just saying, hey, here's literally 20 things you could be doing right now. I'm going to give you 3 or 4 things. Focus on those, then move to 3 to 4 more things. Piecemeal is the best way to do it, in my opinion. So, will this all help me with my PvP? I've done like 0 arenas. Well, actually, yes. So again, if you're doing all the things that I'm saying doing, 100% it's going to help you with PvP. Number 1, you're going to unlock Fleet Commander Khan, who's the best fleet commander for PvP, not even a debate. So yes, Wrath of Khan Joaquin, best below deck officer, including for PvP. So yes, maxing out Enterprise D and Rotarn absolutely will help you in PvP. Then you go back into what we were just talking about with your solos. What are the best PvP crews in the game right now? Strike teams. So not only will the away teams mechanic and the augment mechanic help you max these out faster, these also help you max them out faster because maybe you're sitting there with credits and you go and get more gold Ducat, which is what you're going to want on your Rotard or your GS31. So all these things will help you in PvP as well as helping you in just the normal day-to-day grind. So, ever try playing STFC on your phone and eating a McRib at the same time? I could not say that I've ever done that, no. Bob says, I just got my NSA Protector. What level do I need to start in Mirror? You can start right now with your NSA Protector. Right now. Danny, any other questions before we move on to another G5 player? We're going to finish up with Danny first, then we'll move on. Appreciate you reaching out, by the way. And I do hope what I'm giving you as bullet points is helpful. And I also want to add too, you can always message me as well on Discord. If y'all have ever got questions, you don't have to wait for a Wednesday where we do account reviews and hope that you're one of the 400. How many people we got right now? We have 406 people watching right now. Yeah, hope that out of the 406, I just magically grab you. My DMs are always open. Sugar Fat Man's always there. He's one of my volunteers. Pseudo's always there. We got a great team of people who will gladly help you out. Another thing I want to grab though, real quick, we're talking about DTI. One of the reasons I want you to do it, pull this every day. Thank you so much, Thomas, for supporting the channel. Very, very much. I greatly appreciate it. If y'all want to support the channel financially, help me pay off medical bills and stuff, check out revdeuce.com. It means a lot. Thank you so much, Thomas, for supporting me and my family. That is freaking awesome of you. Really, really appreciate that. But yeah, you want to always pull the Crenum Time Weapon in the pocket watch because this is going to help you with Temporal Disruptors, which goes to Alliance tournaments, which is more free-to-play tasks for you to do at level 60, which is great because that helps you do more things. So again, all these things snowball together. It's just getting them done. Like once you get Janeway's pocket watch and Crenum maxed, and then you're just farming them for Temporal Disruptors, that's free-to-play 10K tasks. That makes that job easier. That's more primes. All these are good things. You work on all that. I've been sitting on your favors for events. Good to hear. All right, need another G5 player out there in the chat that wants to be looked at. Just shout out your ops level, and then I'll pick one, and we'll go from there. And hopefully this is also helping any other G5s who are scrambling to write down some notes. These are all key things to focus on. Key things. I think there's a vid on Rev's channel. I do have a G6 checklist, Swedish Chef, as well. Milestones on when to advance to 60. Just looking for realistic goals time frame wise. You could look at my G6 checklist. I mean, that's part of it. There's a very valid debate on not investing heavily in any 56s, which would, by the way, make Outpost harder. But there's a very good argument for just getting a 56, maybe building a Sanctus, but only going to like tier 5, tier 6, and then getting to 60 and focusing on the epics. So, argument to be made there. All right, grabbing a player. We're going to grab somebody I don't think I've ever called out before. And we're going to go with Michael White, level 57. Michael, shoot me a message on Discord with your account information. We'll look it up here, and then we'll talk about what you got. Also, don't forget to send me any questions that you might have as well. And again, thank you to Thomas for supporting me and the family. Now, Harrison says skip the 56s, and this is where I'm going to disagree. Here's why. Remember I was talking about the two extremes? I believe it's important for every player to pick up at least one faction ship at each availability because it, by nature, forces you to slow down just a little bit. Just a little bit. You don't have to slow down a lot, but just a little bit. All the frustrations people are talking to me about today, outpost, I can't hit them from my ops level, stuff like that, is a byproduct of Scopely's intentional design to make you level up faster than you need to, right? So if you pick up a Sanctus, regardless of the fact that it is 100% factually accurate, that it would be stronger to just get to 60 and build the epic, that is true. Here's a counterpoint. You know what else would be stronger? You know what would make Outpost really easy? If you went to level 80 and you built the epic. If you went to level 80 and built the Enterprise M414. You see how this works? There's always an argument to level up to be better. That's the trap. That's the trap. You can always make that argument. Why aren't you level 80 right now? Oh, who cares about you have a family and a mortgage and a wife and stuff? That doesn't matter. Sell your home. Sell your kids. I don't know what to do with the wife because divorcing the wife is going to take away money we need for packs. So I'm not sure what to do about that one, but we'll figure it out together. But do you see what I'm saying? Like, as long as you're aware of where you're going, completely okay to skip ships. But the reason I tell people to get at least one ship at each level is not because I think if you don't have that ship, you're going to suck. It's to forcibly just make you slow down just a smidge so that you don't get caught in all these traps. End of the day, I get it. Scopely wants to make money, and that's their focus. Fine. My focus is to keep y'all happy so that this game isn't just me and Big Mike, and that's all that's left. And their design's frustrating. So here we are. Speaking of Big Mike, wait, is that Big Mike? Is that the same one? Yeah, that's you? That's you? Sorry, I'm just trying to connect Discord names with YouTube names. Just making sure it's you. And what's the best way to play for your level is your question. Okay. All right, that's you. Got it. Cool. I just want to make sure, man. Somebody could be coming in, stealing your thunder. And also, could you have taken a screenshot with me looking less ridiculous? FYI, like, chat, look at this guy. Look at the screenshot he takes of Rev Deuce. Like, why? Why do you not respect me as a fellow man? First off, offended. Second off, we'll still help you out. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Mike. All right, let's see where Mike's at for level 57s. Again, we just use it as a reference point. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It just helps us see where you're at versus your peers. Kind of helps me kind of have a better idea of where your account is at ship-wise, stuff like that. All right. So you are currently 1,494 out of 2,141. So similar to our last viewer, you are in the bottom half of your level. Now, there are pros and cons to this. Again, the pro is you're wanting to get to 60 anyway, right? Like 60 is the main point of, wow, like, man, I can dominate this game. It's so good. So you're kind of like at a teeter-totter. You have similar things that I actually would say the same thing that I said to Danny. This might hurt to hear. At level 57, you should absolutely be doing Cons Champions already, even if you're pure free-to-play. If you've not spent a dime on this game, there's zero reason for anybody in G5 or higher to not have done the Augment faction to the point where your rep's high enough to do the Cons Champions. So if you haven't done that yet, put that on your bucket list. That's a thing to do. There's just no reason. We have G4 players who have done it, free to play. FYI, it's happened already. So before anybody comes at me like, Rev, that's just such a tall task. How are you able to do it? We have people who are in the 40s who have done the Augment loop and they've maxed it out. So no excuse. You can do it too, right? Remember, basic crew. I'm going to give it a little bit of helpful tips just in case people have forgotten. Wrong account. The Vimit one. Take your board cube out there, take your whatever out there, and put the Vimit crew on. Everybody's got this crew at this point in the game. Where's my Vimit crew? Right here. It doesn't even matter who your side officers are, to be completely honest with you. Run your Vimit crew. What's the point of this, you might ask? The Vimit crew allows you to just farm the trader ships. The beetles that spawn, you know, the ones that have the big gun that can send you home. This stops it from sending you home. So put Vimit on your ship and go find every freaking trader that floats in space. And then, when you're doing your grind, just do, you know, a few hostiles a day. If you have your Reliant free-to-play, let it auto-grind every single day. Always put it out there. Every day. And then just take your Vimit, go to every system you can, see if there's anything, grab the traders, work your way back, be done. Just do that once a day. The 2 tasks I've just given you for Augment, 5 minutes, maybe 10. It's not like I just said spend an hour in Augment. It's auto-grind and go hunt traders. And again, because this happened months ago, you should have had time. Now, you've not responded yet if you have, so maybe you have or not, but just for everybody else out there, get to work. Augment needs to be done. Augment needs to be done. There's just so much good in it, though. It's not like just for the sake of doing it. There's a lot of good between the away teams and between the updates that you get there. So what else can we tell from the account here? Mike, you inform me where your specialty ships are at and where your faction ships are at, please, sir. Discord that, where those 2 are at. Again, I do want to work on you with GS31 and doing your solo waves. I will point some other things out to you because I didn't point this out with Danny. Let's start pointing this out with you. Where are you at when it comes to artifacts? I really hope you're working on the mastery artifacts, which means I'm throwing in transigen right now. I know I'm giving you a 5th thing, but again, we're just preparing you for the future, but also remember that there's really good things in here like the ISO boosting damage. Like I've got mine at 30% right now. At this next update, I'll have it at level 10. That's going to knock it up even more. These are very helpful, and you want to get as much of these as you can. Again, because part of this is working you towards Alliance tournaments free to play, right? Wow, you have a tier 7 Sanctus and you are at that power level. Okay, so now I'm curious. Sounds like if you have a tier 7 Sanctus and are still under 300 million power, I'm wondering how much research are you missing? Sounds like you've got your ships tiered up pretty well, but to be, again, this isn't to say that you're bad. It's just this game has got a ridiculous amount of research and stuff. But to be in the bottom half of all 57s, but to have a tier 7 Sanctus, your specialty buildings and your research are concerns for me. So let's also make sure we're focusing on that. Start with specialty ships. Where are your specialty ships at? GS31, Relativity, and Revenant. Give me those 3. Give me those 3, because we might need to change up our recommendations from Danny and give you slightly different ones. And one thing I'm going to go ahead and tell you to do now, if you have not been doing this already, and this is just a great piece of advice for everybody, stop saving speed ups as if they're going to pay your mortgage. Blow through research. And what I mean by blow through research, I mean every day I want y'all to come into one of these, right over here. I want y'all to go through. This is advice for everybody. And the reason I'm giving this advice is because there are several thousand total nodes of research. Several thousand. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not just pulling that out to make it sound worse than it is. If you add up each individual research level and stuff, there are thousands of them. You have no reason to not be blowing through 10 to 15 a day. And if you're like, hey, I want to save ones that are materials for the weekend, completely fine. I'm okay with that. You can find something to research and speed up. I don't care if it's Starbase, because hey, in Starbase, there's cost efficiencies for ship parts, component duplicator. There is something to research. Speed through this research. Do not forget your starships research. This is one that a lot of people forget to do, especially when we're talking about doing your GS31 and your Relativity. Get out here. Look at all these goodies that you get eventually. Get out here and start working on those things. You out there, speed through your researches, please. Now, if you're in Sigma, I get it. Speed ups are harder to come by. I'm talking more to my G5, G4, and G3 players. Do not get bogged down with the ridiculous number of researches that exist in this game. I know it's a lot. It's too many. I agree with you. It's too many. Cool. Here's what you do. Start speeding everything up. You got speed ups? Use them. You got Latinum? Use them. Because every G4 and G5 player here should be making a minimum of 100,000 Latinum a day, and that is the bare minimum what you should be making every single day. 100 grand in Latinum a day. Minimum. If you're not, we can help you do that as well. So your GS31 is tier 4, relativity tier 8. Okay, that's not terrible. You want to make sure you're doing your GS31 refines because you're 4 tiers away from where it should be able to mostly carry you through the G5 Elite, which is pretty good. You probably can do the G4 Elite already, which is also good. Do the G4 Elite, complete it. If you get that get the GS31 up, you should be able to do the next one. So yeah, that's good too. Yeah, sorry, y'all. I got distracted with speeding up my own researches. As you can see, I live by my own advice. I speed up researches. You know, that's why I'm generally on the front page for every ops level I go to, because I'm speeding through tons of researches while still having a ton of research to do. Like, there's so much research to do, and it's actually semi-annoying now that they have these little markers because it makes me need and want to do all the researches. Look, it's telling me all these different places I've got them, right? Like, here's a big one. I always talk about y'all needing more ISO. Well, how can you get more ISO? Right here. Here's ISO defense through your chronometric particles and doing territory stuff. Right there. Get to working on it. So Reliant tier 3. So your Reliant's actually doing pretty good. Relativity's doing good. GS31 needs a little bit of work. So I'd say Big Mike, one big thing for you, man, you just need, and this is actually the annoying part because a lot of like the augment loop I told you to do was like 10 minutes. Now what I'm telling you to do is I need you to set aside, and this is going to sound crazy, but this is actually good advice for everybody in the chat. I want you to set aside 1 hour a week. Even if you only do it once or twice, 1 hour a week. And I'm saying this will help you long-term, like it'll make the game feel better. Set aside 1 hour where all you do is speed through research. I know that sounds stupid. More is more. They add up. Like all those little ISO things I've been doing, people ask, Rev, how do you have 400 plus ISO? Favors, research, artifacts. Spend you an hour and just start speeding through the junk. And even if you think the junk is worthless, which, hey, spoiler alert, some of it probably is completely worthless. You need to get through it to get to other stuff, right? So again, it's real big about, I'm real big on things adding up. Like Mirror Tree, for example. I harp on ISO so much, but you also have this right here. Increases base energy damage for all ships. 500%. Kinetic. Mine's at 400, but working on it. That's just from doing your relativity. Doing your mirror loop. That's just using your NSEA and doing the refinery. And while individually 500% might not be amazing, it adds up with all the other ones that exist, right? Those premium mirrors that I'm pulling. This is why you want it. Look at all these things I've already finished. And that's just NSEA loop. But coming back here, artifact gallery schematics. People talk about not being able to level up that building fast enough. Efficiency. War room efficiency. Same argument. ISO adds up, right? Another 20% defense, another 8% offense. All these add up. And if everybody took a time to just spend an hour and click through all the junk, you would be shocked at how much it just boosts you up account-wise. It will. Don't forget about your away teams, right? Like getting your cons favor up is big. There's still a lot of players who've not done this yet. If you have not unlocked cons favor, you need to unlock cons favor. Why? What does cons favor do for me? Let me show you what cons favor does. Even if you only had it unlocked at level 1, that would still be a tremendous boost to the average player out there. Crap, I've already collected it for the day. But anyway, what it gives you Pioneer Crest every day, Transporter Patterns every day, Galactic Recruit Tokens every day, and Prime Particles every day. It just simply pays out more based on the level of cons favor you have. Everybody here should have this. Everybody. Put it on your list. Not trying to give anybody FOMO, just trying to say, hey, put it on your list. Why was I saying do solo waves? Because we want to be able to pull boxes like this all the time, right? Got to be able to do it, which reminds me, I actually need to go run more of these so I can run these boxes. So I've given you some slightly different focuses. Your focus, Big Mike, honestly needs to be research and specialty ships right now. Work your way to level 60. Definitely start prepping for you to have your level 60 epic. Like I would love if you've already got your blueprints for your 60 epic and stuff. But you need to do research spamming because I just feel like you're missing that a lot. If you're missing your research buildings, look at those as well. Or I'm sorry, your specialty buildings, and get those specialty ships up. Those would be your focuses, but all the other things I've said are also good. And hopefully everybody out there is also getting some good stuff. Oh, Tim, thank you. Tim sent me a screenshot of his cons favor because Rev Deuce. Oh, come on, Discord. Don't freeze on me, buddy. I believe in you, Discord. You got this. You got this, Discord. Come on. It's not showing me the image. It's not showing me. Come on, man. Come on, Discord. Literally, like, it's not. Oh, there we go. I just had to open it up. It's not opening in the chat. Wow. The graphics quality is potato, but don't worry. The whole point was just to show you what it is. Is it better? There we go. That's slightly better. There we go. This is what you get every day. Again, it will vary based on the level of cons favor. This player is at 8 out of 10. But you're getting this every single day. Every day. Now, Pip brings up the cons favor. Theirs is at 9. The requirements to max are crazy. They are difficult, yes. But, again, you get it as high as you can. And then once you get more Pioneer Crest, the requirements are crazy until you remember that this is a loop that pays into itself. So if you are, again, getting more of those Pioneer Crests, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to take those Pioneer Crests, we're going to go over to the away team's research, and now we're going to start maxing out all these officers. I focused on Strike Team because, again, PvP player. But most people are going to focus on things like Lower Decks, the Enterprise E-Crew, right? Maxing out all these. Well, then all those maxed officers then give you the requirements that you need to upgrade your cons favor. That one. Right there. So it does work into itself. You just got to work on the process. But if you get cons favor and you have it every day, let's just say you had it for 30 days. That's 30,000. That's just level 1. 30,000 Pioneer Crests. A lot of people here are struggling with just getting the Pioneer Crest from their away team. Well, as you get into the loop, if you're focusing on it, you're doing your things like this, you're having success, but just getting cons favor makes up for the fact that maybe your away teams aren't strong enough yet and they're failing. Cons favor is huge, but to get to cons favor, you got to start working on your augment. You got to go do it. A lot of people, again, this is a great comment was made in the chat by somebody else saying that the sweet spot to live is like 3 arcs ago, right? The sweet spot in the game to live is, a few months before, behind what Scopely's pushing, because it's easy to get caught up in like Outpost right now and forget the really good stuff that exists right behind you that'll leapfrog you into where you want to go, right? Right now, the focus is Outpost, 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 which cool, those are things, but most of you aren't going to be able to do the Outpost for the reasons we've discussed today, and the fact that most of you aren't going to spend $400, which is what it costs to take this to level 40. So this is going to take time anyway. Focus on the things like the Transient Loop and the DTI and GS31. That's where y'all's money is the average player. So, there you go. Where's the cons favor research? In the away team's tree, William. In the away team's tree. There you go. We've hit our time for today. We will be streaming again later today over on Twitch if you want to come hang out with us, because I certainly welcome you to all come out there. And if you've enjoyed my content, you feel like I'm helpful in any way, like the video. I do ask that. And one other thing, 400 people here. Greatly appreciate you. Look, remember, I'm not on Scopely's payroll. That's not how it works. I only survive based off y'all. Y'all feed my kids. Y'all pay my bills. Thank you very much for that. If you would consider checking out revdeuce.com, you can sign up to support us monthly, or check out the donation links in the chat right there. If I provided any value to you in your life, like the video, subscribe. And if you want to go above and beyond, think about donating to take care of me and my family. And I greatly appreciate all those of you who do. Live long and plunder. Stay safe out there, Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Clearly, we need to do more of these. This was a lot of fun. I forget how fun it is to sit down and talk to y'all about the game and get away from all the annoying things that is Scopely. Thank you for being the amazing community that you are. I'll see y'all later today. Love you. Deuces, I'm out.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.